for a start, can I just welcome you back to the RGS? Oh my goodness, you've brought the sun with you. You really have, which is fantastic. And I think there's a record number of people at this event this year. Obviously, it's an annual event, our summer supporters reception, and it's lovely to see more people coming year on year, which is fantastic. And as I said, the great thing about this evening, it's a balmy summer's evening, and what a pleasure it is to be here on the headmaster's lawn. I say it's my lawn, it's not mine at all, but I will claim it when it's so beautiful. I always remember it's beautiful now, but when I first joined the RGS, I joined in January 2007, so it was winter, and it was very cold and very wet, and I'm not joking, it rained for about 6 weeks constantly until the middle of February. And I was beginning to think, what a sort of hellhole had I arrived in Guildford, which is saying a lot because I came from Croydon. But anyway, it did turn out better. I always remember that first year of headship at this school because there was some very funny and slightly surreal moments. My second week in charge, I remember the director of sport came in and said, "I'm really sorry, headmaster, but we've had a sending off on the hockey pitch." And I said, "Okay, well, do we have a procedure for when a boy is sent off from the hockey pitch?" And he said, "We do. This was unfortunately the head of hockey." And the funny thing was, because we all know that he was a very fiery character, he also got so annoyed with the umpires that he was sent off. He then tried to get the boys to come off with him. And the boys, bless them, said, "Sir, you calm down, we just want to play hockey," which is a lovely response, I think. And I always remember in the October term, I got a phone call. So I was at Whitgift before here. I got a phone call from the second master at Whitgift to say, "I'm really sorry, but we've had a complaint because when we played you on Saturday in the rugby fixture, one of your boys punched one of ours and knocked out all his front teeth." I thought, oh my goodness. Anyway, so we did a big investigation at school, and I got the guy in, and it was a lovely, lovely chap. It was one of the most mild-mannered young men. He was a bursary boy, and honestly, he was the kindest, most gentle boy you could ever meet. And I said to him, "What happened?" And he said, "I'm really sorry, sir, but we were in a ruck and I just reached in to join the ruck and I made contact with his face. And the thing was that he wasn't wearing a gum shield. And as a consequence, so I went back to Whitgift and I said, "Look, we're sorry, this was an accident. I've been assured by this young man that it was an accident." And I reminded them that, of course, it is their member of staff's duty to see that all their children are wearing their gum shields. So anyway, the matter was dropped, and he was a third year. He joined us in the third form. 5 years later, when he left, I said to him, "James, what really happened?" He said, "I punched him." Yeah, he said he was always offside and he was spoiling the game, and I got really angry and I punched him. He said, "I'd lived with that for 5 years and I'm really sorry." But anyway, so listen, this is our opportunity just to say a huge thank you to you all, and again to say hello again, because some of us don't meet very regularly, and there are so many people here. There are patrons. There are 1509 Circle, there's the members of the Beckingham Society, there are friends of the school. We haven't got our benefactors here, but they have sent messages of goodwill and they wish you all well. And as I said, it's lovely to see you all, and such a disparate group. We've got old Guildfordians, we've got current and former staff, we've got governors here. We've got a record number of current parents and former parents. Now, I always get a bit odd. It's always a bit odd calling people former parents because they're still parents. But I couldn't think of another word for them. But anyway, actually, all of you who are supporters of the school are adoptive parents, because you have adopted young men who are going through the school as bursary holders because of your generosity, and that is a fantastic thing, and I know that they thank you enormously for that generosity. So at the moment we've got 1 in 14 boys who is on some sort of fee remission at the RGS, which is not bad. I mean, we are in the top 5-7% of all independent schools in the country when it comes to bursary offering, and we're very proud of that. So at the moment 70 boys are on bursaries, 35 of them are on what we call transformational bursaries, which means that over 80% of their school fees are paid, and 21 of them are on full bursaries. They pay absolutely nothing to come to the school, but they are all wonderful. They genuinely are, and they are fantastic for us as a school to have these bright, sparky, intelligent young men in the school. And also, I need to say that for the first time, well, roughly for the first time this year, I was able to give a bursary to every boy who applied to the RGS, which is a wonderful thing. Normally, I'm faced with a list and I have to choose those boys on a list as to who is going to get a bursary and who isn't. And that is always a terrible decision, because bursaries are transformational to the young people that receive them. And then equally, if I have to say no, we can't afford a bursary to a parent, then that's devastating for them. But we have ambition. So we are 1 in 14, we want to go 1 in 7. And we have set a target to do that. Well, we initially said within a generation, which was slightly vague, I would say. Now we've said that we want to do it by 2035. So we want 1 in 7 boys, and we think if we manage that, which probably means raising about £13 million, if we manage that, we think that we will be completely merit-based open access for any family, for any boy who wants to come to the RGS, which is, I think, is a really, really powerful vision for us as a school. I went to my school, my parents weren't affluent, I went to my school on a bursary, and therefore it is a real passion for me. So a lot has changed, I think, over the 17 years that I've been the headmaster of this lovely school. What has not changed is an unwavering commitment from myself and from the staff at the school to educate boys, any boys, of promise and talent, irrespective of their parents' financial circumstances. They are so incredibly talented. They really are. It is such a privilege for us as members of staff to be teaching these young boys. Just to give you some examples. So last year, A-levels, over 50% of all the A-level exams taken scored an A-star grade, which is the top grade, which is it's extraordinary. This year we've got 2 boys who are representing Great Britain in various academic Olympiads. I think one is the Astrophysics Olympiad, he's off to Poland, I think, and the other is a Biology Olympiad. He's off to Dubai, I think, to compete for Great Britain in that. We've done huge amounts of music and drama. We did Les Miserables. It wasn't the full Les Miserables, it was just selected highlights, and it only lasted an hour. And the reason being because it was all in French, so we didn't think that people would be able to concentrate for too long. So we condensed it, but it was a wonderful show, it really was. And lots of great sport going on at the moment. We're in a sort of sporting purple patch. Our rugby players had the best season, I think, for many years. We were beating some really fine rugby schools like St Paul's, like Epsom College, like Cranley. Oh, it was fantastic. We haven't beaten Cranley for many years, and we beat Cranley. We're also doing very well in football. So we have won our first national football title since before the war. Which is, we were very excited. Yeah, we were very excited about that, particularly because we beat Cranley in the final. So it was just deliciously ironic, fantastic. Anyway, so what hasn't changed, I have to say, is the character of the boys at the school. They are highly academic, they're smart, they're creative, but they are an absolute joy to teach. They really are. I still teach, and I shouldn't do because I don't have time, but I do it purely because it's the best time of my week. They really are. They're funny, they're kind, they're incredibly decent. I had a while back, I had an email from a lady, and she said, I just want to compliment you on your boys, which is lovely. And she said she was on the train coming into Guildford station, and she said, I had a 2-year-old in a pram. She said, I am heavily pregnant, and she said, I had 2 bags of luggage. And she said, what was fantastic is that your sixth form boys helped me off the train, they carried my baggage off, they pushed the pram off, and they then took her to the next platform where she could get her train, which I thought was fantastic.